Greetings from the void. This is Journey Through Miro. My name is Nullamore, which means unlovable, unfortunately. And I'm here with my boys. Say hello, boys.
Hello, boys.
I did not expect that.
They're going to introduce themselves now.
Expect what, Doc? Hi, I'm not Stephen the Stole. My full name means the crowned one of the meadow of the Stony Brook. And I play Yip Yap No Tail, which means I did a goofy haha name scheme.
Oh my goodness. I am Jeremiah, also known as the Black Doctor, and I play the strongest character in the game, the half-orc paladin of vengeance, Balgroth the Dark.
And our third player, Dale, whose name means hill, I guess. He said he was going to be a bit late. Yeah, the meeting of hills or something. A valley, right?
Yeah.
I suppose.
Anyway, he said he was going to be a bit late if he shows up at all. But this session is going to be kind of... not nothing, but just a basic session. Just mostly roleplay. That's the word I was looking for. And who wants to give the recap for last episode?
We were almost all made into changelings. I got knocked in the back of the head. It wasn't fun. That was before last time. And the changeling, Yip Yap, was small and did crime. We lured Dale, as was at least my prerogative, to lure Isaiah back to his old school to take him somewhere, and to apprehend him. It was emphasized to do it non-violently, and that's why I used the blunt, or to do it non-lethally, and that's why I used the blunt end of my dagger, and suddenly attacked him from behind. And we failed to apprehend him, and our changelings got... and then the real us's tried to communicate and break. We tried to break free! And with the help of someone who actually knew where we were, we did. And I don't remember anything after we broke free. So, yay.
Well, after we broke free, we basically found out that the changelings were, I guess, they view themselves as the good guys because they're trying to keep the peace. But they're also, under the command of I believe, a BBEG, big bad evil guy, and so they couldn't, the person who we were actually interrogating basically got killed, by Flogants. Yeah, that happened.
Cool. Inspiration to you both.
Whoa.
So
they sorry. They got Assassin from Star Wars Episode 2. I forgot their name. Zam Wessel. I remember their name.
So we pick back up with after the changeling that you guys ended up killing or got killed by the mysterious bird creatures known as Flogants. He had told you guys that the original townspeople weren't dead, but they were being held in mirrors in some secret room of Desire's old school.
Right, exactly. So then we were on our way there, and then he died.
Yes. Also, I'm not going to pull up the map. You guys can see the Roll20. It's fine.
Yep.
No, I don't really have any.
It's the map.
So, what are you all going to do?
out of character, am going to acknowledge that this is just a mirror of the prep and execution of my session. Probably for similar reasons.
Friends. But
I
I
could have worried about
am.
that.
I'm gonna continue to take the guys over to the what was it, back to the school to look for the mirrors where the people are trapped in.
Okay. I'm gonna say Isaiah follows you guys just so he stays with the party. And yeah, as you go into the school, actual Balgroth and Yip Yap, you two have not really seen the inside of this school yet.
Right.
It is very like dilapidated, and obviously it's in the process of being rebuilt. You can see where like new structures and fortifications have been put up, mixing with the charred wood and stone of the old school. And you can see like to the far left side of the school, where a lot of the damage had been done, you see like bits of paper and burned half books litter over the ground, which indicates that this part of the school was most likely the library or some similar sort of room.
Wow, this place is trashed.
Yeah, it looks like it's seen better days. I go rummaging through the books. Do I find anything of interest or anything that actually, survived the fire, or is it just just all burnt books?
Roll an investigation.
I've seen better goblin dens.
Yip Yap, do you look for anything?
I mean, can I make a general perception check to see if anything catches his eye? Because Yip Yap's not interested in literature.
Nat 20.
Where's my pencil?
Is that all right?
Yeah, just go ahead and roll perception while I look for my pencil.
Because that's a 9. Yeah, Yip wouldn't really be looking for anything.
Is that a... No, that's not an anything. No,
I need to roll a perception to find my fucking pencil.
Is that an old bottle of Diet Dr. Kelp?
My drink? My diet.
How am I supposed to eat this pizza without my drink? Where's my pencil?
How am I supposed to end this session without my pencil?
There's the bitch. Could I have typed it instead? Yes. Am I going to? No.
No.
It's too late for that. So.
Am I going to? Heck no.
So, Balgroth, with that excellent roll, you find that, yeah, most of the books, they are kind of burned beyond recognition. The very few scraps of paper that still have words on them just kind of say random things that probably have to do with like history or the science of magic and all that jazz. You do happen to find a book that it seems to be tucked under a few planks of wood, as if like the flooring had been pulled up to try and find this thing. And a lot of the pages are ripped out. The book itself seems to be in relatively good condition. And it's in a language you don't quite understand. It looks common, but the way that the words are written, you can't really make out what exactly it means. And
Yip Yap is just twirling around on his fingers the monocle as he's stroking the chin of Fossil, being like, and we're having set tacos later.
Can I finish describing the book?
I'm sorry.
It's fine. And the actual cover of this book doesn't really have a name or anything. It's kind of wrapped in a blue, velvety kind of material. And from what you can kind of gather with like some of the words you kind of understand, and there's like illustrations like in the margins and the corners of the book, this seems to be a book specifically about the myths and legends of the primordials and other entities that existed before common folk did.
I slyly stash it into my stash it into my bag. Nobody is going to miss this anymore.
And yip yap with that perception.
You see
You lose an eye.
Oh wait, an item or an eye? No, I'm old now. Also, your description just made me think of like how I pocket receipts.
And so with that perception, it just kind of all looks destroyed to you. I mean, you have no concept of books really being important other than just being means of written word, which is not something you're used to.
I mean, I got like 5 picture books from the library in Retcher.
But those are picture books.
Right, or not from a library, from
It was from the mayor's personal collection.
Yeah.
His
Right.
personal library.
Hey guys, remember the mayor? That was a long time ago.
Remember
Right.
Richard? God. But you do happen to find, as you're kind of like thinking about that, there's like a book that you accidentally kick with your foot as you're walking around. And it kind of has like, it looks like it has hand-drawn pictures of kobolds on some of the pages that aren't burned away or torn out.
Oh. Does it have any writing that is indiscernible to the illiterate Yip Yap?
With the pages that are there, there's not really any like writing. It seems to just be like a picture book or like an anatomy book, kind of.
I pocket it for cultural reasons.
Cultural reasons. For research.
For research. How should I best? I guess I should put. I don't know.
Just make a note.
Burned book of kobold pictures. I'd put pics, but I don't like that connotation in the modern sensibilities.
Right. So, y'all dig through the library for a bit. You find those things. Nothing really else sticks out to you. But Balgroth, I guess, since you did get that 20 in perception, you notice that the way that the walls are, at least that they're still there, it's like paneled wood with some stone at like the very bottom and top, kind of framing the wood. And the bookshelves, or most of them, were pushed up against these walls. However, you notice as you're looking through and you like take a book off of a shelf, the wall behind that specific bookcase is kind of like a brighter colored wood that's not paneled the same pattern as the rest of the room.
Experience has told me that anything that looks out of place is most likely out of place. It might be a secret passage. I move the bookshelf.
Give me an athletics. Yeah, athletics.
Okay. A 13.
And yep, can you give me a dexterity save?
Oh no, the book was a mimic. A save or just a check?
Dexterity save.
Oh no.
Hey,
Okay.
not bad.
So, Balgroth, you managed to kind of pull the bookshelf away from the wall a good foot or two, big enough for you to be able to like walk between the shelf and the wall. And as it moves, lots of books kind of fall off of it, and all of them narrowly miss you. Yeah.
Oh, sorry, friend. I didn't know you were. I didn't know you were there, or those books would hit you. My bad.
Yes, after you move it out of the way and you can get a better look at the wall, it's very obvious that the paneling there is kind of in the shape of a door, almost.
This door It's door shaped.
Boy, am I glad that they're in here.
I'm glad he's frozen in there and then we're out here. I try to open the door.
As you like touch it, there's no handles on it. You can just kind of see the seam where it disconnects from the rest of the wall. As you touch it, this kind of glowing magical aura emanates from like where you touched it and like has your fingerprints and like your palm and whatever. And you watch as the glowing imprint of your hands swirls together up around the door until it settles into like a line of archaic writing near the top of the door that you can't read. You don't know that language. Unless you know Elvish. Do you know Elvish?
I do not know Elvish. Yep. Yeah. Do you know Elvish?
No, but I can't read, and when I do a special thing with this monocle, I can read.
Well, here. How about this, Yip Yap? You
Uh-huh.
still have that monocle, right? Yeah. Can you put that on and help me read this real quick?
Okay. Yep, pads over. And where's the chain for this? Dang it, the chain broke.
Oh no.
It broke a long while ago. I just did nothing ever about it because I don't know how to repair this stuff.
I heard about breaking every chain, but this is just ridiculous.
Break every. Okay. So yep, kind of shimmy shammies up and go and casts cure languages with the monocle.
Cure language.
Cure language.
I'll cure this language.
This language seems sick to me.
It's like curing ham, you know? It's the same process.
Steamed hams.
He's leaving. Where's he going?
He's like, I give up.
I gotta go to the sea. I gotta go in there.
I'm a head out.
Okay, all right. So,
he has comprehend languages.
So yes, yep. As you look through the monocle it's Elvish. It is Elvish script and Elvish word, but neither of you know that naturally. With the monocle, yep, you watch the letters like rearrange themselves as before when you first use this.
Wow.
And it spells out that if you can't read, wait.
I'd imagine. I was just thinking about
it's magical. It implants it into your head.
It gives him the
I
capacity
think
to
the most logical thing, it would probably just translate it to a language I know, so it becomes thieves' cant.
Fair. So you watch.
I was gonna suggest that it makes him incredibly smart and makes him read the language in a British accent, but okay.
It injects itself into his head. But so you watch the curved, fanciful letters of Elven script become blockier and hieroglyphic into thieves' cant until it spells out a very kind of short question. When is a door not a door?
When is a door not a door? When it's a writing desk.
When is a door not a door? When it's a tree?
When is a door?
When is a door
not a door?
Not a door.
When a goblin makes it into a shield.
Nothing happens.
Oh man.
You laugh, Valgroth, but have you ever been charged by a slab with a doorknob on it?
Oh my gosh.
2 beers and half a cocktail is not conducive to giving me a riddle.
It's a very simple riddle!
Balgroth covers his head, squats down in shame, and whispers, "When it's a jar."
the seams of the door light up in that very same bright blue color. and you watch, it doesn't open. The kind of blue light encapsulates the entire frame until the door is just gone. And before you is a hallway with torches that light up one by one down the hall with that kind of bluish greenish color.
Wow, it was a goblin shield.
If it wasn't so magical, I would absolutely hate this.
Yip kind of has this moment where he looks back at Balgroth, but his eye just catches as now all the books for him are in a language he can understand. He's like, oh, wow.
So you understand reading now, huh?
Huh? What's reading?
I give up. And he begins to just walk through the hallway.
What would oh goodness, what would be the most interesting? Would there be anything Yip Yap reads that's like related to dragons in this pile?
Roll investigation. Roll a preemptive investigation.
Oh no.
Preemptive? I feel like this is very emptive.
No.
5! No! Yip Yap
Nothing catches your eye immediately because you're about to walk into a hallway.
Yeah, Yip Yap's like, ha ha ha, nothing of interest. Turns around, follows Balgroth.
Alright.
Wow.
So you walk down this hallway, and that kind of blue light from the first set of torches kind of leaps from that flame and forms back into the door behind you, leaving you in this hallway. Isaiah is still with you,
Okay.
in case he shows. And as you are walking through this kind of, you can't see the end of it, and all of the stone of the hallway walls, it's very smooth and carved very like, as if magic did it rather than a hand kind of thing. And as you're walking through it, can you both, for me, make a wisdom saving throw?
Oh, okay. I'm just picturing Isaiah this whole time has been face palming at us.
He's just like, I'm going to let you figure this out by yourselves.
Natural 20.
How?
You got a nat 20 earlier, it's fine. You guys just switched. But luckily for you, Balgroth, that was a pretty easy save. So both of you are fine.
Oh, thank goodness.
Wait,
What was
it
it?
was less than a 5?
There's a reason why.
What was it, a 3?
So you walk through the room, and after a while, it's this kind of thing, like as you guys are walking, the torches are going on in front of you, off behind you, kind of leaving you in this circle of light with darkness on either side. And finally, you get to a point where the rest of the torches in front of the way light up, revealing it's a relatively common wooden door. It looks relatively antique as well, as it has bronze like trimmings over top of it, and the doorknob is also bronze, and it looks well kept.
Is it locked?
Try it. It's locked.
Yip Yap pulls out his lockpicks and starts a jimmy jamming.
Roll a sleight of hand with a wisdom save, please.
With a wisdom save. That's a... Ooh. 11, and for the save, 15. I don't like how my save was better than my attempt to unlock the door.
All right, so
well, you're focusing.
You hear the lock kind of jimmy a little bit as you're working on it, and you hear a click like something should unlock. But when you try the door, the knob still doesn't move. And in fact, when you grab it again, the doorknob kind of melts in your claw, becoming like molten bronze, but not hot. It's just kind of dripping through your hand. Here's... So yes, quick recap for Isaiah as he has just joined. You guys are walking through a magic hallway that you discovered in the back of the burned library.
Yeah, I need to go do something for 1 sec. I'll be right back.
Okay. And now you guys are standing in front of a door, which Yip Yap has, to your eyes, melted the doorknob of somehow.
Nice.
Well, at least you can't say that I didn't do it.
So we're in, you say, a hallway behind the library?
Yes, you had to answer a riddle to get through the first door, and then you walked through a dark hallway for a while, and now you're at a antique-looking wooden door that no longer has a doorknob now.
Nice. Well, I'm glad to hear that other people were able to utilize their brains in my accent.
The riddle was so much fun.
Oh my god.
Because, Jeremiah, you know where I got it from, the idea?
Where?
Doctor Who.
Oh my god!
Anyway, so yes, you now have a door with no knob in front of you.
I push my hand on it again, wondering if it's gonna do the exact same thing as last time.
As you do that, nothing happens.
I look to see if there are any like screws or any things to help turn the door.
1 second.
Because it's like a wood door, right?
It is. I'm going to cut out this short conversation very quickly because I just had a thought occur to me. Isaiah, when you killed the changelings, did you take their stuff off of them?
Yes.
I looted, the Balgroth and the Yip Yap ones, yes.
Okay, cool. So you guys do have your original stuff as well.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, I didn't say I gave it back. No.
Yeah.
I just wanted to double check.
I'm getting my orbs and I'm getting my sword.
Let me contemplate this.
I know, those orbs seemed really nice. I don't know if I could just give those away to someone who lost them so carelessly.
Anyway.
To make my re-immersion more organic, Yip Yap's eyes refocus from tripping out after the melting handle.
Right, so, okay. Back to it. Yeah, when you touch the door, that same kind of magical lighting thing does not happen with your hands. It still remains a door.
I slightly nudge it. Does it move?
Balgroth, pushed it when you left.
Oh! This...
What did you do, Balgroth? I'm sorry.
I just, nudged it. Does it move?
Nope.
So it can't be moved with physical force. Isaiah, you got anything?
Let's see. Just curious, have we rested or no?
No.
Okay. I mean, I could probably. Oh no, I can't knock it. Do I detect magic on it?
Yes. This ever since entering that first door, you have just felt enchantment magic all around you.
I mean, don't knock it till you try it, Isaiah.
So if I try to mage hand the handle, does it budge?
The handle's gone.
Oh, the handle's gone.
He melted.
The handle is currently.
Oh, you melt?
The handle is Goop and Yip Yap's 4-fingered hand.
He tried using his lockpicks, and it ended up just kind of melting.
Balgroth, could you possibly knock the door down?
Well, I tried, nudging it. I mean, it didn't budge, but I mean, just give me some space. I'll see.
Okay.
And Balgroth backs up, and he charges.
All right, give me a
Not a kick, a charge.
Yip Yap not being in the moment enough is just hunkering down as you charge.
Just a straight check.
Yeah. You trip over Yip Yap and fall before you can get to the door.
Yip Yap! You got in my way!
Right. So I'm gonna sort of separate them and help Balgroth so he can try again.
Do you want me to try again?
Yes, please try again. Again.
We both have inspiration.
Right now, everyone, yep, stay out of the way.
We using the help action. We good.
Yip Yap sheepishly scoots to the side.
There we
Hey.
go. 22.
Okay, yeah, you run out at this time, and you kind of plant your shoulder inside against it pretty firmly, and it does budge a little bit. But as you push it in, can all three of you make a wisdom save for me, please?
Oh no.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, that's not bad.
Okay, yeah, you're all good. It does budge, and you can kind of see where it's been pushed away from the wall enough, but it's still kind of like grating on the ground, kind of shut.
Do I see what's probably stopping it from moving?
Is this a pull door?
No. He pushed it in. You can't see what's possibly in front of it.
Does this door look breakable?
It looks like wood.
Doesn't feel like wood.
You know what? I will, let's see if I can show this.
Yip Yap bites the door.
Oh. You all might want to
burn
step
it.
back.
I grab Yip Yap and leap out of the way.
Oh, watch out!
Oh, wait, come back.
Just instinct firebolt.
Oh no!
Oh, calm down, Jamal. Don't pull out the knife.
So anyway, I started blasting.
So, I mean, yeah, it's a stagnant door. It does catch fire. And as you watch it burn, the normal kind of red and yellow orange flames slowly become blue and green, like the lanterns around you, until it kind of vanishes to reveal a kind of circular-esque room with, it looks like it seems like the light is emitting from the floor, but there's no light fixtures. And the walls and the ceiling of this room are pitch, despite the light coming from the floor. And can all of you make another wisdom save, please?
We are exceedingly wise.
Okay, Solomon.
Yip Yap. You step into the room with the other two, and you notice that on the walls, not all connected, but kind of in a row surrounding you, except for the door behind you, are polished mirrors with a gold frame.
Do we look normal?
They look like mirrors with a gold frame. You can't see your reflection.
We can't see our reflection.
You can't see that. You can't see any reflection in it.
So, okay, what do I see to show me that they're mirrors? I see a reflection of the room, but no one in it?
Yeah.
Guys? Our reflection is not...
I go to where Yip Yap is looking at, and do I see the same thing?
No. You just see black walls.
I honestly don't know what you're talking about, Yip Yap. I mean, it's just wall. Do you see something that I'm not?
Yeah, there's mirrors on the wall, and they're reflecting, but not us.
Can I go in and check too?
Mm-hmm. You just see the same dark, empty walls that Balroth does.
Does my crow see anything noteworthy?
Roll a wisdom save for your crow. So your crow flies around the room and lands on your shoulder before you hear mirrors in your head.
Isaiah is probably going to draw the wrong conclusion from this. Before he attempts to detect magic, he sort of whispers to Balgrath, I think that Yip Yap may not be smart enough to know that there's a difference between a mirror without a reflection and a wall.
Yip Yap is currently up against the mirror doing a ah.
So Yip Yap, that's actually called not a mirror without reflection, but a wall.
So
you
there's
cast-
like a pedestal in the middle of the room.
I never said that.
Question mark? Okay.
No.
Wasn't there was an object of note in the room?
I said that it seemed like light was emanating from the ground, but the walls and the ceiling look completely black.
Okay.
So sorry.
No, go ahead.
Isaiah, when you cast Detect Magic, you still feel that enchantment magic very strongly, but you also feel kind of illusion magic at the same time.
I suppose it's possible that Yip Yap and my familiar have been subject to some sort of weak illusion spell.
Are you sure it's not? Are you sure it's Yip Yap and your crow to the illusion spell, or not us?
Yip Yap tosses out a dagger on the floor. Does it reflect?
When you're holding it, no. As it leaves your hand, yes.
See, look! I see the reflection of the dagger right there.
I mean,
Yip Yap don't
Balgrath,
know the term reflection. I see the mirror of the dagger right there.
It's theoretically possible, but if we had to guess on who would be most susceptible to illusion magic, would it be you and I, or Yip Yap and an animal? Don't answer that. Just think about it.
Hey, my dagger is not an animal. It is a tool of destruction.
You are absolutely right, Yip Yap.
You might have a point, but we do have an inanimate object, and both Yip Yap and I have been changelinged before, and you almost got
what? We've been what?
Changelinged.
And I what?
I'm using it as a verb now. That
verb. Doesn't sound like a word.
But you said you were changelinged.
It's a thing. It's a thing in progress. Respect the thing.
But you said you were changelinged, and I what?
You almost became one.
I did not.
I guess. I mean,
you weren't even there. I effortlessly defeated them before they even had a chance to attack me.
No, DM, does Yip Yap have any concept of a changeling?
Didn't you saw the changeling, Yip Yap? You literally tortured him.
Right. I look at Isaiah and I go, I don't believe you.
My machinations were undetected, for I am a master of deception.
To answer Yip Yap's question, there is a legend among kobolds about creatures that take your shape to deceive you and steal your food and stuff. Also, Yip Yap, can you make a perception? Was it perception I wanted?
We call them shapy boys.
A perception check.
An 8.
Bruh.
When you drop your knife in front of the mirror and the knife appears on the mirror, for a second, you can see where your hand is, but then it's gone again.
Oh, changeling! Oh, they're like Dragon.
Having absolutely no idea what that is. Yeah, sure, okay.
Oh, those are disgusting. Ew.
Well, Yip Yap, you mentioned mirrors, so I mean, and if you guys remember, I mean, we're looking for people who are stuck in mirrors. So this might be the place.
Are we looking for people who are stuck in mirrors? Was that like a riddle we heard?
Yes. Wait a second.
Oh, that's a very important detail. Okay.
People think
No. Sorry, I just want to. The riddle did not have to do with the mirrors, Isaiah.
No, the
So-
riddle
Oh,
had to be
right. Yes,
before.
the people the changelings kidnapped. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Steve.
People,
Okay.
people can get stuck in mirrors.
It's a magic thing. Apparently, it's a thing in progress. Respect the thing, yeah.
My dad was right. He told me that mirrors captured the soul.
Uzziah overcomes his impending aneurysm and walks over to one of the alleged mirrors
And
and
Story of
starts
his
advised not to
life.
touch that with a
knocking on
10-foot
it.
pole.
Story of Isaiah's life in this party.
Isaiah, roll a wisdom at disadvantage, please. A wisdom save at disadvantage, please.
Oh dear. Desventaje.
Oof. I mean, that's not bad.
As you knock on the mirror, nothing happens. It sounds like a wall, and it feels like a wall.
Yip picks the dagger back up. He's like, come on, guys, there's mirrors right there. And he throws the dagger at where he sees a mirror.
Roll to hit.
Ooh.
Oh no.
So help me. Yeah.
That's an 18. I am at the edge of my seat right now. What are you gonna do?
Yep, you watch your mirror, you watch your knife go through the mirror and land on the other side in the room, in the reflection of the room.
Okay.
And
Do
you
we
two,
see this?
yeah, you see his knife just vanish through the wall.
What?
But you roll a wisdom save.
I
was determining Yip Yap's own conclusion on this information, and now I'm not sure how to interpret what I rolled.
Well, that's what you guys see.
well,
We passed our wisdom. Well, maybe we didn't. Maybe we all failed, and he just failed worse.
DM, heads or tails? I need to make a decision, and I can't. Heads or tails?
Tails.
I miss my wife, Tails.
Where'd it go? Oh no. Wait, where'd it go?
No, what are you doing?
Nothing. There's nothing going on.
You're scaring me.
I'm allowed to roll things randomly on Mortoni if I want.
You're scaring me.
Okay, it's tails. Yip Yap runs headlong into the mirror.
Does he go in?
Yep, roll. Hello. Roll a wisdom saving throw. And roll a strength saving throw.
19 and 17 respectively for our audience.
Okay. You know, Yip Yap, we should have tied a rope to you.
You see his head go through the wall and his body stops. Yip, you are now head stuck in the wall. In the mirrorverse. Just your head.
Hello? Does everything echo?
A little.
Hello? Hi.
Okay, yeah, you just see his hands moving around with his headless body stuck to the wall.
No, Yip Yap isn't doing this. I'm doing this so the audience has some fun visual cue of echo.
I would assume you're moving around a little bit.
Oh, I mean, yeah, Yip Yap does talk with gesticulation, but
you can't hear him.
Yeah, I can't hear him, but I'm just thinking, I'm standing looking at him in utter shock. And I think I look to Isaiah, and then I look to Yip Yap, and then I look to Isaiah, and back to Yip Yap, and then back to Isaiah.
He looks at me, and I can't look at him.
Okay.
I'm tempted to just leave him there, but I know that we can't.
I mean, we shouldn't. But we won't.
Balgrath and Isaiah, can you make a wisdom save with disadvantage, please?
Meanwhile, who are you? Who are you? Who are you? I'm Yip Yap, Yip Yap, Yip Yap, Yip Yap. Who? No tail, no tail. I'm no tail.
Balgrath, as Yip Yap goes through the wall, the mirrors, you can see them too now. And you can see Yip Yap's head in the mirror. And you can hear him too. Isaiah, you can't.
Oh.
That's impossible. I'm Yip Yap, no tail. That's possible. I'm Yip Yap.
Yip Yap, please stop.
Do I hear him?
Yes.
Isaiah.
Balgrath.
Yes, Yip Yap, it's me. I can see you and hear
can you hear Yip Yap?
Yes.
Everything echoes. Yeah.
I like to imagine it's just Yip Yap doing this.
Yes, definitely.
And I wish I wasn't. But I hate to say it, but he's right. This room is full of mirrors.
Told you so.
Hold
Yeah, I
on,
did.
Balgrath. Why are you suddenly seeing them now?
I don't know. I guess the shock of seeing Yip Yap lowered my defenses. But he's right.
The shock of seeing Yip Yap lowered my defenses.
It's possible that they may be lowering our mental defenses.
Do I hear
Clearly something's
Isaiah?
afoot given that he's stuck in a wall.
Exactly, but he's right.
Who are you talking to?
Or are you wrong too?
Balgrath.
Yip Yap, can you make a wisdom save with disadvantage?
Yip Yap should have disadvantage.
I was just
Never
saying,
mind. 4.
I want to see if you can roll lower.
Yes, ma'am. Nope.
Okay, well, 4. Yip Yap, Balgrath, you don't see this, but Yip Yap, with your head in the other room, the door, which is mirrored, that you guys came through, it opens to reveal you walking in.
Oh, hey,
Silence.
Yip Yap. Wait, what?
And Balgrath, you can hear him talk, but you can't see what's going on. Yip Yap, you watch as this reflection of you silently and kind of stiltedly, like it's a puppet, walk through to the center of the room and then turn, like heel turn, to look directly at you. And you notice that your eyes are gone in this version of you. And he walks towards you, and he reaches out as he walks. He grabs your snout and pulls you the rest of the way in. And Balgrath, you watch him completely disappear into the mirror. Make a wisdom save. Oh, and Isaiah, you see that his body's gone. Actually, yeah, both of you make a wisdom save. Balgrath and Isaiah.
Is Fosso with me, or does he kind of jump off?
Is
I
it
guess he
still
jumps
at
off.
disadvantage, or is it a
Do I-
regular?
It's a disadvantage.
Okay.
Do I sense any like level of like I'm being messed with or like something's going on with my mind?
You still have kind of that illusionary enchantment magic that you feel. You can't tell if anything is happening directly to your head, but when you focus on something for too long, there's like this headache you get as the magic increases the longer you look at something until you look away.
Fossil is gonna let out a concerned, sort of animalistic purring noise while scraping at the wall mirror where Yip Yap was pulled into.
And so, Balgrath and Isaiah, you both see him go through. And Isaiah, this is when you see the mirrors show up in the room. And at this point, the door behind you, it doesn't shut. That opening is just gone and has been replaced with another mirror, so that you are completely surrounded by kind of full-length mirrors framed in gold.
Am I able to? I want to check the door side.
Well, it got replaced with a mirror.
I know. I'm going to try to touch them. Yeah.
As you tap the mirror, when you make like connection with the glass, the reflection of your hand shows up whenever you touch it.
Isaiah, I don't know if you noticed, but Yip Yap's gone.
These don't seem like mimics to me. Something is clearly wrong here.
Meanwhile, you just hear this. What does it sound like as Fossil is scraping against whatever Yip Yap was pulled into?
I don't have a plate with me. It just feels like something is scratching at a rock. It's stone. Kind of. Well, I guess it's full length. I don't know if it would be touching the floor. But if he's scratching at the mirror, I guess it would just sound like something scratching metal.
Okay. You hear you hear and see Fossil scratching what sounds like the scraping of claws on metal.
I cast Divine Sense to see whether or not this thing is good or evil. This magic here is good or evil.
You can't get a sense for either. But as Balgroth, you are trying to figure out what's going on. In the mirror that I'm assuming you're looking at the mirror you went through. In that mirror, you see the door on the mirror side open. It hasn't been replaced with a mirror. You see it open, and in walks your wife, as you last saw her. And she's also kind of walking very rigidly with stiff movements, like a mannequin that has just been brought to life. And she gets to the center of the room, does a heel turn to look at you. Her eyes are gone. But she's smiling at you. And as she walks towards you, she lifts her hands up, and just as she gets to the mirror side, she holds out her hands for you to take.
Balgroth takes a step back.
Her smile kind of falls, and you can see tears come from the absence of her eyes as she just kind of looks at you. And Isaiah, as you're looking in your mirror, you are looking in the mirror where the door is supposed to be. But in the mirror, the door is behind you in the reflection. And that door opens, and there's a darkness in the doorway. And from that darkness, stuff is emanating from the doorway. And the longer you look at it, the more it looks like feathers.
Are these slogan feathers?
They just look like feathers. Dark feathers. They could belong to ravens or crows or flogants. Any kind of dark feathered bird.
There's a third corvid.
I don't know. Steven, since when you got
what am I doing here?
When you got pulled into
pops
the mirror, that reflection of you isn't there. And you're just kind of on the ground with your snout, where your knife landed. And when you stand up, it's the same room. You can look out the mirror you came in, and you see Balgroth and Isaiah in that room.
Does it still echo?
It does not echo anymore, and you can't hear them, and they can't hear you anymore.
Where's Yip Yap? Hey, other Yip?
As you look around, the door from that side, it opens again. to
The side I'm on?
yes, the mirror door opens, and you can't quite make out what's on the other side because it looks like the door itself leads into a cavern that you can see the entrance of down the way. But as you're looking, it gets warmer, not uncomfortably warm, but like you're near a fire or something, and you don't see the person as they're kind of standing to the side of the door from the inside, but a hand kind of leans out into the doorway, and it's a reptilian hand with a claw spread out.
Color?
Red.
How many fingers?
4.
Yip Yip calls out, "Friend or foe?"
You don't hear anything in response.
Yip Yip slowly draws his daggers from under his poncho.
All right. While he's doing that, Balgroth, Isaiah, what are you guys up to?
Balgroth is staring at this reflection, and he asks, "You're not really her, are you?"
She kind of looks down at her hands and then looks to the side, and not from the door, but from like behind the side of the mirror, a young half orc comes into view and stands in front of her with a really big smile, no eyes. And you also notice at this point that despite this being the last time you saw your wife, she's no longer pregnant. And the child is kind of holding out their arms in like a hug manner.
Come home, Daddy. Don't you love us?
Jesus.
His eyes begin to well up in tears, seeing the life that could have been. He begins to take one step towards the mirror.
They just kind of, she smiles again, kind of excitedly, happily, like, and the child gets more excited and starts kind of like hopping in place while holding out their arms and leaning towards the mirror as well.
Because this has been where my journey was. I mean, does my story have to end in vengeance? Couldn't I just stay here for the rest of my life? And he begins to ponder that as he takes slight inches forward. Do I sense anything while walking?
No. Roll a wisdom save with disadvantage.
It's an 8.
As you get within, I'd say, half a foot of the mirror, well within, like, reaching out, touching it, your wife kind of leans forward and holds out her hand, and you watch as her hand moves through the glass of the mirror and reaches out for you to take.
I look at the hand. Is it normal?
Oh yeah, it looks the same.
I grab her hand and pull her through the mirror.
Can't. She's trying to get you to come in with her.
So, like, if I pull, she won't budge?
Mm-hmm.
Her face smashes against the mirror. Her nose looks like Yujiro's.
I still hold on to her, not moving an inch. Why can't you come here? Why can't you be with me here?
Isaiah, what are you doing?
Wish I had a second level spell slot. I'm gonna whack the mirror with my quarterstaff.
The image kind of like the glass like quakes when you hit it. And it doesn't sound like you hit a mirror. You hear like a hollow thud come from inside when you whack it, as if you've hit like the metal casing of a box or chest.
I'd like to cast Shocking Grasp on the wall.
Alright, what does that do?
Hang on a second. There we go.
Alright, I mean, yeah. Roll damage.
11.
So you touch it, and as you touch it, you see the reflection of your hand come back, and electricity and lightning starts to spark from your fingertips and spread out over the mirror. And it kind of like, it looks like it fills up the entirety of the room inside of the mirror. Also kind of zapping the door that's behind you in the mirror until it all coalesces back into your hand and you need to take 8 points of damage.
I take 8 points of damage?
You take 11, sorry.
Oh, I would have settled for 8.
I misremembered.
Oh! Why, you...
And as you do that...
Does any of us hear any of that?
I mean, Volkarth, you are in the same room as him still.
Right, so I hear him, right?
Yeah.
I turn around to see what's going on, still holding on to her ring.
As you turn around, Isaiah, after the lightning kind of dissipates and you take your hand back from the pain, that kind of feathery movement in the doorway behind you, it stops. It looks like the feathers almost freeze in midair as they're falling. And slowly pushing through the kind of wall of darkness are inky talons that are slowly making their way towards you across the room.
I'm going to avoid them as best I can, looking at the reflection. What do I do? Can I try to cast at an angle such that if it reflected off a mirror, it would not reflect directly back at me? Firebolt at this?
Roll. Explain how you do this.
So I guess I'm assuming, you said this is like an octagon shaped room or is it a circle?
It's a circle, and like, I mean, obviously the walls have to be, well, no, the mirrors can be curved, I guess.
Yeah, okay, so basically I'm not going to shoot straight at it because like then it would just bounce back at me, so I'm going to make sure it hits at an angle so that if it were to reflect off or something, it would, not hit me. So I'm basically going to go boom. Oh, okay. I'm going to shoot at a tentacle. That's what I'm going to do. I'm going to shoot at a tentacle in the mirror. Like using the mirror as a guide.
Yes. As you do that, it does bounce off the fireball. Bounces off the mirror. And kind of ricochets past you and just stops in the center of the room. And then fizzles out. And the claw is still in the reflection. It's still reaching towards you. And it's getting bigger as it's getting closer. Like, to the point where the hand, claw itself is about 3 times your size and almost scratching the sides of the room.
Bolgrath, do you have any sort of dispelling abilities? Or hallows? Or protections from good and evil?
I hear him, and I look towards the reflection in the mirror. I look deep into my wife's non-existent eyes, and I say, "Karlak, I love you, but I can't." He lets go of the
Make a strength
hand.
save before you let go.
Oh,
Okay.
You
Wait,
can't let go.
let me. Is that with advantage or with disadvantage?
It's just a straight roll.
Okay. So
as
just a
opposed to your
strength
normal
roll?
gay rolls.
Just a strength roll and not a strength
Like
save?
a strength save. I'm gonna count the 10 as your roll though,
Okay.
because it's without advantage or disadvantage.
Okay.
You can't let go. Her grip tightens.
Carl, I have to. I have to save my friends.
As she looks at you, you start to hear like a ticking coming from somewhere, like a clockwork contraption.
Can I
And
figure out the source of it?
no, it's just kind of very faintly in the background now as she's looking at you. And you look back down at the hand that she's grabbing you with, and it's made out of metal now. And she tugs you closer until your arm is halfway through the mirror.
I try to pull myself out.
Strength save.
Can I use my inspiration?
Mm-hmm. Now that you're closer, your would-be child kind of grabs you as well. Their hands pass through and also become kind of silverish metal as they grab onto your chest plate, and you're pulled through completely.
No, wait, I have to. Isaiah, wait!
And then Isaiah, you are left in the room with that talon creeping towards you. But
Yeah.
yip, back to you.
Oh,
So yeah, it's a four-clawed hand that's just kind of waiting at the doorway.
hello, Pallard.
Hmm?
Hello, Pallard.
Okay. Is that what you
Is there
said?
any response?
Oh. It sounds less like someone talking in front of you and more like the voice it's coming from the inside of your head. My child, you can come home.
Do I recognize the voice?
It sounds like Uriel.
Do I believe?
Roll an intelligence save.
Not insight.
More intelligence save.
Oh, I have more points in intelligence. 10.
A part of you knows that it's not exactly possible unless you're dreaming, and then another part of you really, really wants it to be real because it feels very real from the doorway.
Can I try a different one? A different roll?
Do you want to use your inspiration?
I want to try insight.
Give in to your desires.
I did.
Sure, roll insight.
Actually, no, I kind of didn't, but
Jesus. So, again, you know that this can't be possible unless you're dreaming in some kind of way. And as you're kind of watching the hand, you start to hear like laughter and like koboldy talking coming from where the entrance of the cave is. And you recognize it as the voices of your family.
No. You're dead. You're all dead. My brother and my sister and my brother and my sister and my God.
You can join us. Please come home, Lydia.
You're dead! And I will avenge your death. But you will not drag me into your place yet.
So as you
I'll come, okay? But first I'll make them pay. I have to make them pay.
after you finish, the hand kind of lowers until the dragonborn that you saw in your dream a while ago, that you know to be Kiraga's kind of dragonborn form, stands in the doorway. And unlike the reflection of you, he has his eyes. He smiles at you.
Kiraga?
Yep. Don't you want to come home? I appreciate what you're doing for me. I can take you home.
They need to pay. And I'm the only one who can make them pay. I miss you. I miss you every day.
Yep.
They need to pay.
I know that you want to play this little game of yours, Yep, but you don't have
to. It's not a game, Kiraga! You know it's not a game. It's like that whale. You didn't have to give us a feast, but you gave us a feast. I don't have to be the best for you, but there's no one left who remembers who killed you. I need to find them. I will. I promise. I swear to you. On everything I am, everything I have, I will find them, Kiraga, and I will destroy them. I promise.
When you finish talking, the kind of smile that he had falls. And he just kind of looks at you in a confused way. I didn't know that this game would mean so much to you. I kind of regret doing it all now. I thought it would be a fun little adventure for you to go off on a quest to avenge me. But the game's over now. Yep. Come home.
You're not real Kiraga, you bastard! And Yip Yap runs into the wall.
Well, the door's open. Are you running at
Yip
him?
Yap runs into the wall where he thinks he came from.
You just kind of smash into it, and you break the mirror. Something kind of grabs and wraps around the stump of your lost tail.
He turns around and bites it like a dog, instinctively.
As you bite into it, you get a juice kind of flows into your mouth, and it is rancid tasting.
Yip Yap vomits and keeps biting.
So you look, and as you try biting into it, it doesn't seem to be getting any thinner, and more of that fluid is going into your mouth. And it's like a vine has wrapped itself around you, and it's pulling you into the doorway, where you watch Kiraga's dragonborn form kind of start to bubble at the flesh, and his eyes fall out as you watch, in kind of a time lapse, the decomposition of that body until it is just skeleton pile on the ground.
Are Yip Yap's arms free at all?
Mm-hmm. It's just around the stump of your tail.
He tries to plunge his daggers into the ground to halt the pulling. Does it do any good?
It's stone. No, it doesn't. I'm sorry. It doesn't. So, you can't.
He calls out, Kirga, you're out there! Save me! Help me, please! Let me save you!
Back to Isaiah.
Oh,
you're alone in the room with the reflection of the talons, which now kind of the knuckles of them are scraping up against the walls and the ceiling of this room as they start to close in around you.
Do I have any idea of like the kind of thing beyond just illusion and enchantment? Do I have any idea of like what could be going on here? Like, have I heard about this sort of magic?
Roll a history. So you do have recollection during your classes about the primordials and the primevals that the entrances that may or may not exist to their world. It's always been speculative and theoretical. Many stories and myths will explain that these portals and gateways look like mirrors. They're closing in.
So I don't see a door, right? I just see like mirrors all around.
Mm-hmm. When you look away from the mirror, it's empty. It's just walls and mirrors. And when you look back, the reflection behind you is the door with the clock.
Right. And that's where the door would have been had I like,
You were looking at the mirror that was the door.
Okay, and that mirror, and that's legit just solid. I can't walk through it or anything.
As far as you can tell.
I'd like to take out the locust meter and ask it which way is out.
It spins for a while until it says, it says yes/no.
I'm pretty sure my reaction to this is dang it, but I'm just going to read the description of it quickly. Let's see. Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a dang it.
From what I remember, you can ask it 3 questions a day. They have to be yes or no questions.
Oh, that's true. Oh, I'm going to ask, is this real? Is what I'm seeing real?
It spins for a while until it lands on yes.
Is this evil?
It spins for a while until it lands on don't know.
All right. Can I try to sort of using the mirror kind of like weave my way around and get out the door without getting caught by the hand?
Roll in acrobatics. Whew. Okay, so I'm assuming you have to be looking at the mirror in order to see the
yeah. So it's like,
kind of, dodging and weaving backwards. You manage to, because it's moving kind of slowly, it is just taking up a lot of space. You manage to avoid touching the claw as much as you can tell until you kind of get to a space in the door where there is a gap between the arm of this talon and the wall that you could fit through.
I'm gonna try it.
So you slip by, and you can't see the room anymore once you passed the feathers, and you're just kind of in darkness for a while. And then we can go back to Balgroth because I know you got to be out of here soonish. You have been pulled through. Your wife and would-be child no longer in front of you. Just the remnants of a cold feeling on your hand and your kind of neck. And as you look up, the room is not the room you were just in, not the room of mirrors. And you look back, and you watch as the mirror that you came through, showing, I guess at this point it would be showing Isaiah bobbing and weaving backwards to get out. And then the mirror starts to fold and collapse in on itself until it becomes a little tiny box where that clicking sound is emanating from. And then the room space around you, it resembles more of a workshop or a smith with very intricate wood carvings hanging from the walls and ceilings, and a warm anvil next to kind of the coals of a fire, and a sword currently being cooled down in a pool of water.
Do I see anyone there?
Not immediately, no. You can hear roll a perception.
Eight.
It sounds like something is moving from a different room. But you can't tell if it's someone moving around or if it's just like outside, because there's no windows in this room.
I go to the sword that's being quelched, and I pull it out.
It's a kind of, the style would remind you of kind of old elvish detailing, like a curved blade with kind of metallic spirals embedded onto the main part of the sword. It just looks very nice. The craftsmanship looks expert, above anything you've seen made. And it's still kind of warm. It seems to have like just been put in that pool before you showed up.
I place it back in to finish its quelching while I go to explore, basically saying, into the out there, so if anyone can hear. You brought me in here using my wife and my unborn child. You've angered me, and now you've become my enemy.
As you talk, from the door, there's a couple doors. A door on your left, you hear like the sound of something dropping, and then like a lot of moving around very quickly until you hear a lot of locks being undone on the door, and it opens. But you can't. It opens just a little bit. Hello?
I turn to see who that is.
The door isn't open wide enough to see the voices. Person.
Come out.
Are you? What are you?
That's the question of the day, isn't it? I don't know where I am, and I am very, very upset. You
don't know what you are or where you are?
I don't know where I am.
The question was, what are you?
Oh. What am I?
Not a good listener.
One, I'm very upset. And if you don't answer my questions appropriately, I will be your worst nightmare.
I okay, okay, and the door opens to reveal a. You've never seen one in person. You barely know of them as a thing, rather than they were used in a battle very, very long ago with orcs and elves. There was a war between them. There was a warforged standing in the doorway, made out of bits and pieces of soldered bronze and kind of coppery, and there's a dog on the camera. Um, and it is kind of, well, it has masculine-esque features. It has like a broad chest. It's not wearing anything. It's just metal, and it has like, it doesn't have a mouth. It has like kind of slits, kind of like an exhaust pipe, and it's rubbing a very dirty kind of cloth over its hands. Hi. Hi.
A
How,
Warforged?
that's an old name, but sure.
Okay. Oh, okay. Where am I?
And you hear it like it makes a sound like it clicked its tongue, but you know. Well, you're in my workshop. I'm Karis.
Karis.
Right?
Okay, Karis. Before I destroy everything in here.
Oh, please don't.
I listen. I just came through a mirror room where in this mirror I saw my wife and my unborn child now being born, apparently old enough to even grab my hand and bring me in here. And now the mirror that I have stepped into is gone, and now there's left with a box with this ticking sound. Do you know what this is?
He kind of looks at the box for a while, and then its head kind of back to you. You didn't quite answer my question earlier. What are you?
I'm a half-orc. I'm a paladin. A servant. A servant of the great Tellurian.
It kind of like its eyes, which didn't really have a glow before, but now like a flash of green kind of emanates from them for a second. Oh. How did you get in here? And he kind of walks through the doorway, puts the cloth on the table, and picks up the box before examining it. He starts kind of moving it around like a Rubik's Cube. I'm not sure how you got here, but I think I can get you home in time.
In time? How much time is in time?
Relative.
Well, it better
No
be quick,
no
because my
time
friends are in danger.
for us. No time for us. And then he kind of starts like a kind of broken, not broken record, but like a record slowing down. No time for us. No time for us. And it starts slowly like bending over as it holds the cube.
I look to see if there's anything to bring him, I guess, back up to speed.
On the table that he's now standing over, you see a large version of like the wind-up key for a toy.
I grab the key, push it into his back and then wind it up so hard that it can't go back anymore.
He kind of, when you do that, it spins as he kind of like clicks back up into place. Huh. Thank you. I can't do that myself, so I slow down over time. I usually have helpers. But yes, I can get this back up and running in no time for us. However long it takes for the people you want to go back to or wherever you came from, I don't know how long it will be for them. Maybe no time at all. Maybe a while. I'm not the best on keeping time.
Well, then you better start. Because if any one of my friends ends up dying because I'm not there, somebody else's head is going to be added to my list. And yours might be one of them.
I would be very intrigued to see that. And he kind of clicks one last piece of the cube in place, and it unfolds back into a mirror, but the room is empty.
Like, just the same room.
The room of mirrors that you were in is now, you're looking into it again. It's empty.
I basically shout into the mirror, Isaiah? Yip Yap? Are you there?
No, no.
Cars kind of leans his head around. If there were people in there with you, they're probably in mirrors too. These rooms aren't really meant to be accessed by everyone, for obvious reasons. I'm sure you can see.
Well, then who's able to access them? Who's been here?
Well, people like me, people like the Tellurian.
The Tellurian?
So sometimes.
So he would know how to travel through at least a few of these mirrors freely?
Travel. Yes. Know how? No. He didn't make them.
But he would at least know a little bit about maneuvering them. I mean, he's the Tellurian.
Yes. Tellurian, the Vast, Radiance, Soaring, all of them. And you have, not the Primordials, but the Primevals. Svelda, Ambrew, Zito, Data. They all can use them.
So I guess in order to escape here, I need to learn and walk the path of gods, huh?
You can just walk through the mirror I made for you. It goes back to where you were. I just don't know how long it's been there.
All right. Well, thanks, I guess.
I don't see many common. It's been a treat.
Oh, trust me. And he begins to step a foot into the mirror. I am anything but common. And he pushes the rest of his way back into the mirror.
And that's where we can end it for you, so you can pop out.
Thanks, guys.
Mm. Buenas noches, señor.
Next Tuesday or next Saturday?
Yes.
Both, actually, honestly.
Oh, yeah. Don will be back. Trust me.
And with him popping out, we're going to go on a quick 10-15 minute break.
Alrighty.
Woo!
We're gonna pop back in with Isaiah as he moves through the kind of dark, and you feel it feels like feathers, but they're like sticking to your skin as you're moving through before falling off again, and more taking its place and all that. Until
Ew.
eventually you kind of stumble out. The feathers start to, they become more papery, and they stop sticking to your skin as much until you push through like just a couple more, and you stumble out into a pretty well lit walkway between bookshelves.
Oh, no. Am I back in the library?
The library is easily recognizable. You're not in the sitting area this time. You are just, it's like the first time you showed up, where you're just kind of standing in between shelves.
I slowly contemplate just setting things on fire, but decide that's probably not the wisest course of action.
As you contemplate this, the books on the shelves start to like shake and tremble as vibrations build up from like the floor and kind of around you in a way, until a book kind of a couple meters in front of you down this walkway, it seems to go on forever, a book falls down from the shelf and the trembling stops. And from that new gap high up on the bookshelf, a flogant kind of hops out and then flies down and lands on top of the book, kind of pecking at it.
What do you want?
When you kind of call out to it, it stops pecking and kind of, its like big milky eye just looks up at you and kind of tilts its head. And you watch as the body, the form of this flogant, it starts to kind of move in and out of itself, like someone, like one of those funhouse mirrors. They get bigger and taller and wider and smaller. It starts to kind of do that, and as it gets bigger and kind of overflowing out of itself, like an ink pot that's been tipped over. And the shelves around you, they move back in a very fluid way with no sound. You barely realize it until the flogant is 3 times your size and barely touching the shelves at all.
Oh dear.
It kind of steps over the book with a very big claw talon and looks down at you, kind of clacking its beak. And you see like rows of teeth inside that you've never seen on a flogant before.
Hey.
You just keep finding yourself here, don't you, Isaiah?
So it would seem. I highly doubt it's an accident at this point.
Well, this time, probably. The last times, Zito kind of does what he wants.
Who are you?
Well, it kind of clacks and tilts its head. I am kind of where the flogants, come from. Those things that look like me. They're smaller avatars, vessels of me. I am Flogant. That is my name.
Oh, I've heard of you. Why am I here right now?
I couldn't tell you. I'm just organizing books. Things aren't really going too well. Probably felt
I
that.
look at the book on the floor. Oh, I wouldn't have guessed.
Yeah. Zito's little tantrums when things don't go his way. They shake up the whole library, and I have to be the one to catch all the falling books and put them back into place and make sure that they're not ripped or torn or bent.
What didn't go his way?
I don't know. Far from me to bother him.
Aren't you a minor deity?
Yes. I was created by Zito to kind of be the overlooker of his collection.
Well, do you know how I could get out of here?
Well, you got a few options, I guess. You try going back the way you came. I didn't see how you got here. There's a balcony, and he kind of like turns its head, and its feather kind of sticks out a bit. I'm sure you might have seen them before. It looks out over into the floor of this place, the fog. If you jump through that, it'll take you somewhere. Don't know where you're trying to go. Or, and I would recommend this, if you try getting Zito's attention, again, maybe he'll give you a favor. He seems to like wizarding people. Other than that, I don't know.
Well, thank you, Flogant. I have a question. Why can't the books here be read in the library?
Well, then there'd be no point in making deals. Zito likes to give out knowledge, but he likes to give it out for a price. I mean, you're a wizard. Knowledge has a price.
I suppose. Is there anything back the way I came, or did I just kind of like poof here after going through there?
When you first came in, it was like you came through the bookshelf.
I gotcha, okay. I assume looking back at it, I don't see anything of note.
Nope, just more bookshelves.
Any reason why you think Zito might be interested in me?
Well, I don't know. He kind of does his own thing. And this is what he does. He likes to indulge in the frivolities of common.
Yep,
What if I had to guess? What?
Yep, floats in a cloud. Kidding.
What if I had to guess? It's because that stunt you pulled and set
you. Stunt?
Oh, you can't lie to me.
Is this referring to the taking the artifacts? Yeah. Well, I suppose. I see. That's very interesting. Did he sick the natives on my school?
Oh no, that was your own fault. You just weren't sneaky enough.
I legitimately thought that they were unused. These stupid tribes. Well,
yeah.
Well, I wasn't intending for it to be a job interview. I guess I'll have to. I suppose I'll rest and then try that fog at some point.
It does. He kind of. His feathers form a thumb up. All right, man. Well. Oh, by the way, could you stop, kicking my avatars? It doesn't hurt. It's just really annoying. because they're there for a reason. I gotta keep tabs on stuff. Or Zito's
Yes.
gonna...
I don't like having tabs kept on me.
No one does. You think it's fun working for a thing that's just eyes? It's creepy, man. He made me, and it's creepy. I don't like his brother either. I don't like any of them. I don't like being here. I just want to be a bird, man.
I'm sensing a very strong one-directional empathy that's being requested here.
One Direction.
I'll consider it.
Just saying.
Also, that was brutal what you did to the changeling. I would have felt terrible had he not been an awful creature.
Look, that might have been one of my avatars, but I did not do that.
Was that directly Zato, or?
It was another one of Zato's spawn, like me. Does all the dirty work. Zato wouldn't go out of his way to kill one changeling.
And who is this? Who's this colleague of yours?
Let's check.
Check. Do I know that name?
No. You wouldn't really recognize it.
How would I know Jack from you?
It's just Zato's little hound dog. More like a lap dog. Goes out, kills the people Zato doesn't like. That's about it.
Any tips on avoiding him killing me?
Well, as it stands, he doesn't seem real keen on killing you. But I don't know. Change his mind.
Well, Flogant, I have a tendency. It's not unheard of for people to sour on me. So if I were to come into contact with Zek, is there a way that I would be able to resist or combat him?
You know, you didn't hear this from me. But he hates Satra. Now I gotta go. Those little bug thingies. I gotta go. I got more books to collect.
Interesting.
What's happening with Yip Yap?
Yeah, so Flogant kind of dissolves into like this sludge, goes back, picks up the book, and then just kind of like crawls up the shelf to put it back into place and go away.
Mm-hmm.
With that, I'm going to say you kind of walk around, nothing else really happens of note until you find a sitting area that, it doesn't look the exact same, it's a different sitting area, but it's empty and there's no fire.
Sure.
Cool. And then we'll go over to Yip Yap, who is being pulled by a gross vine after just watching Kiriga decompose at an accelerated rate in front of him.
No.
You keep more vines start to wrap around you as you get closer to the door.
I try to cut the vines.
You can cut them. You cut through some of the smaller ones, but more immediately take its place until you're kind of almost, it's like they're trying to cocoon you. They're wrapping around you over and over again.
You're not Kiriga! Kiriga loves me!
And just before your view is covered by the vines, you see that you've been pulled out of the room and the door shuts and becomes smooth cave wall.
Kiriga!
Roll a wisdom save.
Oh,
So you don't know.
wait. I will use my inspiration.
Okay.
Take that.
Okay. So you manage to you start to feel very drowsy and sleepy, like I don't know. You never experienced the sleep spell really, but you manage to stay awake. You stay like understanding that you're being pulled somewhere, and it feels like it takes a while until you start to feel like you're slowing down, and the vines start unwrapping from you, and being pulled up somewhere into the treetops, and you find yourself one with your face in mud, and the very, very sweet scent of blooming flowers and fruit, as you're now in a sort of swamp area. I mean, what do you do?
Are Yip's arms free?
He's completely unbound now.
He tries to reach for a fruit.
You managed to grab one. Do you want to eat it? Roll a Constitution saving.
Oh no. Ooh!
Not bad.
That would have been a 19. 2 19s in a row, dear audience. What a time for an at one.
When you bite into it and you feel it kind of go into your mouth the same way that when you bit into those vines, but it tastes so good. Like, you have never experienced a flavor like this before. It's a very sweet and rich drink. And the flesh of the fruit is very soft and ripe. Similar in texture to, I guess, raspberries. And about the size of your palm. So pretty small in Yip Yap's hand. It tastes really good. And you feel very calm now that you've eaten something.
Everything seems normal.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, you're in a swamp. You don't know where you are. When you look around, you just kind of see trees. When you look up, you can't really see the sky. You can't tell if it's light or dark out because the canopy of trees makes it impossible to see the sky. And it would be dark if not for the fruit that's higher above you, hanging from very green vines, is glowing. And there's some bioluminescent mushrooms, kind of similar to the mushrooms you saw in Kincardine at the party. And then kind of moving around, really creating the only noise you hear are bugs that are slightly glowing as well. But they're moving so quickly around.
Is Fossil here?
Nope.
I try to summon Fossil. Doesn't work.
I'll say yes.
Oh, boyo! I'm guessing I can read Fossil's emotions. How does he feel about this environment?
He's scared as hell. He doesn't know where you are either. More so.
We both try to bite through the vines holding me.
You're not being held anymore.
Oh, wait, what? Okay, I thought I was still floating along up a tree.
No, they just kind of left you in the mud.
Okay. Can Yip Yap discern from whence he came?
It all looks the same. You're too deep into the swamp to really know which way is the way out.
Yip Yap kind of clutches the sides of Fossil's face. Where did we come from? Where do we go? Where did we come from? Fossil.
As you talk to your pseudo dragon, the sound of your voice, I mean, obviously creates a bit of a disturbance amongst the bugs that are chittering around, and some of them start crawling towards you. And
I thought you were gonna say it echoes.
And some of the bugs, the shape of them you recognize, like beetles and stuff like that. On the rocks, you see like really big caterpillars. And around you are moths that are probably bigger than Yip Yap. And they're just kind of getting closer to you.
The bigger things he swings out with his blades at.
When you go to attack one, all of the light that these creatures are emitting goes out. And for a second, you can't see where they are until they start moving away from you. And it just looks like shadows overlapping. Until something kind of, from the trees, it lowers in front of you on a vine. And it's a bright red fruit.
Wow. Yip Yap takes a giant swig of his flask.
Mm-hmm.
And as the vine descends, he looks at the pseudo dragon. And does the pseudo dragon do anything?
The pseudo dragon kind of like sniffs up at it.
How does Yip Yap interpret the pseudo dragon's reaction?
Fossil looks interested, hungry.
Yip Yap grabs onto the vine.
As you grab onto it, you feel something crawling on your hand. And the fruit kind of splits open. I'm so sorry. It's a bunch of spiders.
Man.
Yip Yap unleashes upon his own hand and the fruit koboldish firebolt.
So you don't have to roll for that. I'll just say that they do catch on fire. You kind of burn yourself a little bit, but it's a very brief feeling. The vine that the fruit had been on, very swiftly and very much like a living creature, wraps around your ankles and pulls you up into the trees. And you're pulled up through like leaves and branches into like a very dark part of the canopy.
Avenge me!
Until you're pulled up face to face, kind of snout to snout, with a snake-like face. Kind of staring at you from the leaves. You can't tell how big it is because the rest of its body is obscured by the leaves. Its head is about twice the size of your head. And it kind of flicks out its snakish tongue.
Yip Yap does likewise.
Little lizard, how do you find yourself here?
I don't know. How do you find yourself here?
You're in my forest. You disrupted my children.
That's awkward.
Your forest disrupted me.
Where do you come from?
Well, so you want to know about Yip Yap NorCal?
Answer my question concisely.
I I come from a cave with a lot of kobolds and a dragon, and a bunch of adventurers killed my dragon, and now I'm trying to kill the adventurers.
You came here from your cave?
Well, I mean, there were a few steps in between, but yeah.
Where was the last place you were before here?
Yip blinks one eye at a time. What was the name of the last town he was in? Did he hear the name of the town?
It was Isaiah's hometown of Colebrook, which you would have heard the name of.
Cobalt. No. Colebrook.
Colebrook.
Yeah.
Oh. What do you call yourself?
Yip no tail. Cobalt Rogue.
You call me Salu.
Okay, Sulu.
I don't know how to get you home, and I don't want you here.
Well, I don't know how to get home, and I don't want to be here.
Its head kind of like turns upward, and then like it does a 180 to look up, and then it completes the 360 to look back at you.
Oh.
You're the dragon you follow. What was their name?
Vil Kiraga.
Oh. Right.
Did you ever hear about Vil Kiraga? He was a great dragon.
If you keep talking,
He
I'm going to drop
once
you.
killed a whale, and he fed it to us, and it was amazing.
If you keep talking, I'm going to drop you back down.
Oh.
I'm not one for conversations. Keep walking. I'm going to lower you down.
Yip starts walking in the air.
On the path. Try not to touch vines. And do not disturb my children again. Soon you will find a cabin. And there is someone who can help you more than I.
I try to summon Fossil around my neck. Does it work?
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Do you understand?
Yip and Fossil nod their heads.
Its head kind of sinks back into the leaves as the vine around your ankles starts lowering you back down until you're kind of laying down, and then it unwraps. And as it goes back up, you almost hear laughter and giggling coming from the vines around you.
Fossil? Can you talk? Oh.
So what do you do?
Yip walks forward.
Cool. With that, we're going to call it a session this week.
All right.
I hope you enjoyed, and I hope
Always a pleasure.
whoever watched enjoyed, and next week should be good. I'll keep you updated if something happens. And I will see you all later. Bye!